Hey, what it do, what it do? This is your boy KQKC, and with my boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV. What's
What's
going on?
up, y'all? What's going down? What's up, KQ? What's up, everybody in the chat? Hope
Man,
everybody doing all right this morning. You know what I'm saying? Ready for a great morning of boxing talk, man.
oh yes, oh yes. Hopefully, Knockout Man, we don't have to go through just half of the stuff we went through last year or the
Mhm.
year before, you know. So if we can just keep that momentum going like we did in the last, let's say, 3 months of boxing of the year, then I think we'll be in a great position, and I'm cool with that, you know. So, of course, now we hearing a different news going out, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the fights that we had a chance to witness, and people's kind of late on it. Friday night. We're gonna talk about that. And Saturday, we had a good Saturday show. I believe we hit over 700 views, so that was pretty good. For a last minute, jump on. I feel better. You all motivated me to keep grinding and keep grinding, and it made me feel good. So how was the Cowboys do, man? Because I told everybody yesterday, I said, you know what, I might call Knockout and mess with them.
Nah, you ain't no need to mess with me.
Cowboys.
We drop 50. We drop 50 on the Sheagles, man.
I know somebody
On
said,
the
man,
Philadelphia Sheagles, man. We did them bad, so we ready for the playoffs, man. Get ready for this Super Bowl run. You know what I'm saying? We
okay,
getting we getting lit.
y'all gonna go to Super Bowl?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I say we're going to the Super Bowl every year.
Oh, okay.
My answer will never change. We until we eliminate it, we going to the Super Bowl, bro. That's my that's what I
Man,
think.
man, we had 1 year to celebrate the Bears. That was back in 85, 86. Man, the town just went up in smokes, right? That's when we had
Mhm.
Peyton before he died of the prostate cancer. We had Refrigerator Perry.
Yeah, he
We are the
scored that
Bears.
touchdown. He was famous for the touchdown and all that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
man. And we made a song, We Are the Bears. I mean, after that, everybody got traded. Everybody just got off.
Didn't y'all had like Dick Buck kissing them too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Dick Buckus, he's a product of Chicago. He went to high school and everything here. So
Mhm.
Quinn Butner from the Milwaukee. So, but boxing, that was a good fight Saturday night. And
Yeah,
first of all,
yeah.
let's see who all in the building, man. All right. Okay.
Let's get
This
it.
is roll call brought to you none by Chi-Town. I mean Underground Science. I'm thinking I'm on my channel. Okay. Brought to you by KQKC and Knockout Boxing 86 TV. We got the
Yeah.
fans corner up in here. We got 24/7 King mentality up in here. We got Chi-Town up in here. Got to do something, but he listening. All right, that's okay. Mr. Mechanical, what's going on? St. Louis Mix, what it do, baby? What it do? Keno Local Sport, what's going on, Maniqua? How you feel? All right, okay. There go Valerie. Yes, sir, Valerie. I appreciate
What's
you
up, baby?
always chiming in. And when we're not doing it together, I mean, you still come and show support, and I appreciate that. All right, the Skywalker, Tim Muncie, what's going on, baby? What's happening? All right, you crazy and nutty as I don't know what up there in the highest
He be up
shit.
there high as shit, boy,
I
up on
know.
them
Yeah,
scaffoldings and shit,
yeah,
being
talk about
held up
taking
by a
pictures.
wire, boy.
I
Stop.
know. That's
Nope.
crazy. And then he talk about
Mm-mm.
taking pictures while you up there and shit.
Taking selfies and shit. Nah, bro.
Eating
Nah.
lunch and shit.
Somebody come get me down. Shit, get my ass down from there. I
Right.
ain't able to do it, bro.
Man, you ever heard a man scream like a girl? That's me. All right. Hey, Brandon House, Detroit finest. What's going on, baby?
What up,
All right.
Brandon?
Yes, sir. We got Underground in here. Underground said my Cowboys put in work last night.
Yeah, we
So it's
did.
easy, OG. Take it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, don't be going in because we did our thing last night. We ready for the playoffs. Dak broke Tony Romo record. We feeling good.
What?
We don't
Okay.
care who we play. It don't matter. Line them
Man,
up.
man, you know what? Cowboys always they always took a chance on or the ones that other teams didn't want to take a chance on, and they always came out on top. You know,
Yeah,
the
we
one thing.
love. If you got a rap sheet, we love you. If you got a little rap sheet, you know what I'm saying. You got your little drugs in the car or something, you know,
Right,
hey, it don't matter. It don't matter.
man,
You
but
smoke you a little of that devil's lettuce, you know what I'm saying? We don't care. We don't care.
yeah,
We'll keep you.
man.
We'll sign you, man. Matter of fact, if you want to play for the Cowboys, that's a good way to get on our radar. Do a little something, get in trouble with the law or some shit. We'll be right there.
Yes, sir. And, you know, y'all got a good owner too. We got Bowler up in here. All right.
What up,
Yes,
Bobo?
yes, sir. Okay. And Stormy B, man. Yes, sir. He would be coming on right after us. That's right.
Stormy.
He'd be coming on with the call in show. All right. And I appreciate everybody yesterday. I was feeling a little bit better. My call in show was a little late. But we know we did over 700 views, and I'm glad and thank you all. We did 130 some likes. Thank you all, and keep the energy going today. Make sure you hit the likes for Knockout Boxing. Now, keep in mind that the Cash App for him and me will be going across the screen at the bottom. All right, donate as you will, but don't forget we got some free shit out here for you. All right. It's called hitting the like button. All right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can participate. All right. Oh, we got exclusive news. My man X is in the building. What's going on, X? Yes, sir. Phyllis Nunez. What's going on, man? That name sounds familiar. Did you fight Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That was
sir.
his cousin. That was his cousin.
Oh, that was his cousin?
Nah, I
Man,
don't know.
might have been. Oh, okay. You just fucking with me. Okay. I'm up old and slow, y'all. I just got up. All right. Not too long ago. All right. Now I did wash up, so don't be tripping, y'all. All right. Now who else we got? All right, that's all we got in the building. All right. That's all we got right now so far. And so make sure everybody hit the like button. All right. And now exclusive news said Cowboys gear from head to toe. Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
how I
Let's
give it up, bro. I'm
yes,
feeling
sir.
good this morning, man. We got the W last night. You know what I'm saying? We chilling.
Yes, sir. You know what? Actually, you like when the Bulls won the championship. I had every shirt from every year. Our thing was if you were real men wear red, and that's what it was. And I mean, it had all kind of shirts of the Bulls. I mean, every shirt you name, I got it. And I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not bragging on them, but the first three-peat and the second three-peat, so that was a great dynasty, so but let's get on to this boxing talk about
Let's
great
do it.
dynasty. All right.
Let's do it, man.
And let's talk about, first of all, we got to talk about what would you like to talk about first? What's going on in the news, or just cover the fights first?
The fights are short. I mean, let's do the fights right quick, then we can really get to because I know we got to talk about the PBC bullshit and all this other stuff going on. So we can do
Okay.
the fights real quick. That shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
Then
Well,
get on to the good to the news and shit. See,
mhm.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, you know what? We can start off with Castillo and Altar. Okay.
Okay.
Now I think Altar is older, wiser. He knows what he had to do. He doesn't really step back. He comes forward. He's a hard puncher. He's strong. He led with his head as far as pushing him back only, just putting his head in the chest and pushing him back towards the road. Now, Castillo, he should have stepped around. Every time he put that head down, it's very easy to step to the side, left or right. But he allowed him to push him back towards the road, which is a bad idea. You cannot let someone have you lingering on the ropes. This is another Mayweather issue. Everyone can't fight off the ropes. Now, Mayweather, he was a little timid, but he got it together and started fighting better off the ropes, especially in the fight with Marcos Mendoza. All right. Now that was a good way to that he fought off the ropes. But everybody can't do that. And now Ortar, with his strong strength, it was a bad look for Castillo. What you think about that one?
Man, yeah, Castillo, he first of all, I got to give him credit because in that first round, I thought he was gonna get knocked out in the first round or the second round. He got dropped twice in the first round, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Damn, you about to get your ass whooped." But then he
Mm-hmm.
fought back tough, and he
Mm-hmm.
and he lasted all the way through the fight. And he had some moments. It ain't like he wasn't landing punches. He just you could tell Atar was way stronger than him, and
Mm-hmm.
he used that strength to his advantage. He did a good job getting inside with head movement because he way shorter. He like 5'5", and Castillo was 5'9". So you would think, like you said, Castillo would step around, stay off the ropes, use his jab, and keep the fight at a distance where he could hit Atar, but Atar couldn't hit him. He just couldn't deal with the strength, and he couldn't establish the jab enough to keep Atar up off of him. And once Atar got on the inside, he just bullied Castillo. You could see times in that fight where Castillo was trying to get off the ropes. He was trying to pivot around, but he couldn't get loose of Atar's grip, and Atar just kept him right where he wanted him, outworked him. The uppercut on the inside was working nice. The hooks to the body was working very nice. And we're gonna talk about Nunez in a minute, but Atar did this too. I like how he don't throw everything at the same speed. You can see him pity pat a little bit up top
Right.
just to land a
Mm-hmm.
mean ass left hook down low. Then you can see him pity pat with a combination just to throw a hard left uppercut through the guard. So he was doing some nice things in there. He's somebody that can fight, man. So I thought it was a good performance from him. And I like
Mm-hmm.
these young fighters or these prospects, these unknown fighters. Everybody that fought on that card Friday night was undefeated going into that fight. And
Yeah.
so both of them showed great heart, and you could tell Castillo, he didn't want to lose. He came to fight very, very tough, but Atar was just a little bit too much for him.
Mm-hmm.
Castillo can go back to the drawing board, work on controlling distance, work on his feet so that he can pivot around people, and he need to get physically stronger. He is 5'9", so he about the same height as Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. So maybe at 5'9", maybe he's shrinking down too much to make 135. Maybe he can go up to a higher weight class where he can have more muscle and maybe be physically stronger because he was not. He got pushed around the ring a little bit too much by Atar. So, but I thought it was a good fight, man. Very, very entertaining. They threw a lot of punches. They came to fight, and
Mm-hmm.
still could have mailed it in after the first or second round, but he didn't. So, salute to him for putting on a tough performance.
Now how old is Castillo?
He's 20. He's 26, and Atar was 28. So they
Okay.
ain't they ain't
Okay.
that they ain't too far apart. So it ain't like
Right.
he gonna
Okay.
grow into his grown man strength. Maybe his best hope is that maybe he leaving some strength on the scale because 5'9", that's a tall frame to be making 135, man.
That's what I was gonna say. The tall that he was over Atar, but Atar was pretty much bullying him, and
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to use that uppercut, and he could have landed it. But still, in all, if he would have landed, I don't think he would have did anything to Atar. I don't
Nah,
think.
because he hit him with some good shots.
Uh,
Once the Tar saw he could take his power, I saw Castillo hit him with a straight left and right hooks and stuff, and those are his good punches. And the
right.
Tar just shook his head and started walking to him and walking through him. And
Wow.
that's right, St. Louis Mix. I said it on my breakdown of this fight when we did the live stream. Like Tar, them angles he taking and the way he jump in and out and stuff. He don't have Loma feet. His feet ain't that good, but he does the same things from the orthodox position where he try to take those same angles and get inside on you because he's short. So
Mm.
that's a good assessment by you, bro. He do look like him a little bit for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was a good fight, and while it lasted, and Atar just dominated. Now, only thing
Mhm.
about it is this young man, great fighter, great strength, but poor promotion.
Mm.
I would like to see him more often. And I'm not talking about on Showbox. He should be fighting on somebody undercard or a co-main event. I think he earned it. I think he earned it. Yes, I know he got the wig and this and that, but I have seen worse in the ring. And of course, we know the language and everything. I get all that, but I think this guy is kind of like making him a just exciting fighter to put on
Mhm.
TV. No matter who he fight, they say, "Well, this guy phone gonna keep ringing." Why? Because he's exciting. He would go in there. He won't take a step back. He would keep forward, and he'll put his head in your chest and push you back. And I think he should have had a better break than what he had.
Yeah, listen, it's time to for these promoters to start. I'm tired of seeing the same fighters recycled and rinsed and repeat. Like,
Yep.
no disrespect, but why Comey got a deal? So why Attar can't have a deal? Or Nakatani got a deal? Why can't Attar have a deal with a promotional company? Because he's younger than those guys. He ain't lost yet. And like, shoot, they have proven to be, B class fighters. Let him go in there and see what he can do. Cause he seemed tough. He got good feet. He young. He's strong. And if these lesser fighters can have opportunity, like Juan Carlos Burgos and fucking all these older fighters still got deals and shit, and they just keep getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And this young man, he deserves a shot. So shit, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I think so too, because I have been watching him, and I've been watching him on Showbox,
Yep.
and that's all I have seen him on Showbox. And Showbox supposed to be a program where you go from a contender, prospect to a contender, then from contender on, and they're supposed to have like, hey, you graduated after what, 4 straight wins or something like that. That's why I was asked about Antoine Douglas, the middleweight there. Whatever happened to him? He dominated till he got knocked out. So, but we're gonna move on to the next fight. We talking about Santos and Foster 3. Okay, now that fight was pretty much a wrap with Santos winning that fight. Foster, I think he couldn't take the power.
And, Foster won.
I mean, not Foster. I'm sorry, Santos. Okay, now Santos was the favorite. I'm sorry, but Foster pulled it out. Now Santos should have won that fight, but Foster had a chance. Foster had a chance. And matter of fact, I gotta be honest, I was surprised too. Now I never seen neither one of these guys fight, but one thing I can say that they, the resume, everything look exciting. Everything look like, man, there's gonna be a war in there. But sometimes you see Santos pushing his punches just a little bit, and then you seen Foster. He's pretty much was counterpunching. He didn't give up in there. He took some hell of 5 shots, but he still was there, and he was still feeling good. He was smiling at the same time, So what you think about that fight? I mean, I think the Foster was a clear winner.
Yeah, he won that clearly.
Right. I don't think it was no doubt about it. I don't think it was no controversy. It's just what it was. He got outbeat, outclassed.
Yeah, to me, I think a good takeaway from Friday is that we don't have to talk about any of the judging. All the judging was correct. In every fight, the right person won the fight, and you didn't hear no bullshit ass scorecard. So when we criticize the judges, I do that shit when it's warranted, but I also want to give them credit when it's warranted. And all the judges and all the fights at the Showbox card, maybe they need to hire some of them for the big fights, because they had very good scorecards throughout the night. Now, De Los Santos, he came out and I was like, oh shit, he about to win, because he landed like 20 body shots in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
he was countering Foster and shit. Like, you could tell that from a talent perspective, De Los Santos, he only 22 years old. Foster was 28. He got more talent. He was faster, he was stronger, he was slicker. But I don't know who he got doing his conditioning. I don't know what's up with his gas tank, but after like 2.5 rounds, he started to slow down, and Foster took control of the fight from there, because Foster he had better experience than De Los Santos. Obviously, he's older at 28 years old, so it is what it is. But salute to Foster, because he weathered the storm, because in them first 2 rounds, it did not look good for him. Santos was landing everything, and I did the play-by-play, and I said, man, look like he gonna knock him out, but if he don't, I hope he don't gas out, because that's a lot of punches he throwing, and he damn sure gassed out. And Foster took control, started walking De Los Santos back. And yeah, St. Louis mix. I see you, De Los Santos and Foster. That messed up my parlay, but it's all good. You can't win them all. But Foster, that's his second upset in a row because he fought a kid out of Philly in Philly in his hometown, was supposed to be a big prospect, and he beat him there too. So I believe William Foster down there at 130 pounds, showing how tough he is, showing how skilled he is. He needs an opportunity as well. I don't want to see these guys on Showbox, especially the guy we're gonna talk about that was in the main event. You know what I'm saying? But De Los Santos, yeah, Mr. Mechanical, he needs somebody. De Los
Yeah.
Santos needs somebody because the talent is there. This was his first fight coming over from the Dominican Republic, coming over here to America. So very, very interested to see what he does next. I think he should stay over here. I think he should stay over here, get some good training because you can see the ability. He just couldn't. If he could do that for 8 rounds, he would have clearly won that fight. If he could show up and be the De Los Santos that he was from the first 2 rounds, he's clearly a more skilled and agile and athletic fighter. He just gas tank got to him. And Foster, to his credit, took advantage of that shit. De Los Santos started fighting back. He won like the last round and a half of that fight. But that was just more so off of heart. In the middle of that fight, he got tired and he couldn't keep up the pace. So
Yeah.
another good fight. That was the co-main event, another good fight. And it was a great, even though this card probably flew under the radar. If you love boxing, it was a good, Friday night to just sit back, chill, and watch some boxing because all these fights was good, and this one was no different. So
Right.
thought it was a good fight, man.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. I think it was a good fight, and like I say, these are guys that's not PBC fighters. Keep in mind, y'all, they're not PBC fighters. They are pretty much like free agents. They can fight on any network. So what they did last Saturday night or Friday night, they fought on a PBC, Showtime card. That's what it was, Showtime. It wasn't Showtime or Fox. I mean Fox, anything like that. Now I think Showbox is a great show to show the new talent. I really believe that. And if you're a promoter, I have my eyes glued on that TV every Friday night because this is gonna be a new thing with Showbox. They renewed their contract with this, and you have some new prospects every time they come on. So I get contender and prospect mixed up. But either way it go, they have limited amount of wins and losses on their record. So now let's get down to the main event. The main event. I know people, man. I know it's short but sweet. Okay. Now, one thing about it, we had no fights this weekend except for these. I know that you all pretty much saw a scrap in the main event. And I'm talking about a scrap. We're talking about I know you all hear me talk about weight classes, how I don't believe in jumping up 2 and 3 weight classes, if you want to really say it, like Rigondeaux, Lomachenko. Rigondeaux, after the first round, he knew that he was kind of over his head as far as weight and speed. So what he do? He started holding. So he gonna make the fight last a little bit longer. He had a point deducted. Okay, well, this is gonna go downhill for me, and it did. But let's talk about Ariata. Okay, this is Kano Local Sports charge. And he wasn't in the corner though, but his father was. Was those good instructions to give your son?
I don't know, man. These father trainers, I don't want to, because he got his son this far. Clearly, if you look at the fight, the advice didn't work, and Arietta, to his credit, he took a lot of punishment in there, man. He took a lot of punishment. So if you give the trainer like credit when a fighter performs well or when they go in there and have a performance of their lifetime, I feel like you gotta give the you gotta get a trainer criticism when the fighter doesn't perform well. So clearly the instructions they didn't work, right, for whatever reason. So but overall, I thought he showed good heart. I thought Arietta equated himself well, and he let Luis Nunez know that he was in the fight, but Luis Nunez was he was too strong. He was too strong. His like they would land the same punch, and Luis Nunez would knock Arrieta 2.5 steps back, and Arrieta would not even do anything. Not even do anything to him, but Nunez would just keep walking through his punches and shit. So Nunez was faster than him. He was stronger than him. He was more athletic than him. So when you in a fight like that, if you Arrieta, the only instructions that you probably could have gave him was to just make the fight ugly. Make the fight ugly, because the closer that you can get to this guy, the skills still matter on the inside, but they matter a little bit less. Speed and foot movement and how hard you hit. You can't get as good leverage on your shots on the inside. So I would have been telling them, look, man, get on the inside and just try to outwork this dude. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than us. He's stronger than us. You got to get on the inside. He's more skilled. He can counterpunch better. If you get on the inside, you'll have a chance, because he was getting whooped. He was getting whooped from pillar to post, unfortunately. I maybe gave him a round. But other than that, I think Arrieta needs to think about, because he's a short dude, man. He's a short dude. He's 5'6", trying to fight up at 130 pounds. That ain't, matter of fact, they fight up at 135. I'm sorry. He's 5'6", trying to fight at 135. We see the struggles that he the size of Lomachenko, and Lomachenko is highly skilled, but we see the troubles that Lomachenko is having moving up to 135. Guys are taking his power much better. Guys are figuring him out a little bit better. They're longer. And so Arrieta, no disrespect to him, but he's not nearly as skilled as Lomachenko. He's too small to be up there at 135, bro, with those disadvantages. He's not fast. He don't have good feet, and he wants to be a come-forward fighter that doesn't have that good of power. That's not a good recipe, man. So whoever got him moving up to 135, I understand these opportunities to be on ShoBox don't come around often, but you still got to do what's in the best interest of your fighter, and his time will come. Maybe he's more of a factor down at featherweight. You know what I'm saying? If he can make 126 again, but jumping up from 122, because that's where he started, y'all, based on the box rec. I know Kano might even know if he started even lower than that, but based on the box rec, he started down at 122, and to come all the way up to 135, shit, them 13 pounds, that shit matter, man. It's some big old dudes up there at 135 compared to him, man.
Yeah,
and it showed. It really showed. So it was a great fight, though. What I appreciate between him and what we saw with Castillo is that they were clearly outmatched. They were clearly in a fight where it was like, you knew, if you if you know what you're watching in the boxing ring, about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes into that first round, you knew it was going to be a tall order for Arrieta. And he won't admit it, and his father won't admit it, but they probably knew it was a tall order and going to be a tough ass fight for him too. But he ain't quit though. He ain't quit. He ain't fold under pressure like a lot of these dudes do. You know what I'm saying? He stood 10 toes down, and he gave the fans a great effort in a great 10-round fight where he'll get a call again, because people know he gonna come to fight. And if you're not careful, if your guy ain't got the skills and ain't got the talent that Nunez got, he'll fuck around and upset somebody. But I think it need to be down, if not 126, at least take him back down to 130 and see what he can do down there, because he a little bit too small. And Nunez, although he was stronger than him, Nunez ain't the strongest 135 pounder. So if he keep fighting at 135, somebody could knock him out. To be perfectly honest with y'all, if he not careful with who he fight, he got to go back down, in my opinion.
Yeah, my opinion too. Now I wanted to know from Kano. I know he's not on the show, but he said this is the first time, first fight his father was in charge. Now, what would make his father get so interested in him fighting at this pretty much 2 weight classes up to make him actually get in the corner? Because every fighter that got a guy holding up the mitts don't make you a trainer.
That's
everybody think it does, but it doesn't. Now, just because you're in the corner, you got to say something productive. You got to say something that's going to help your fighter out. You're not going to say, look, we're down, bro. We're down, bro. Come on, go ahead and knock him out, man. Get him out of here, bro. Come on, and that's not.
Teofimo Senior ass was on the.
Yeah,
He was at the bar before the fight.
yeah, so I mean, you gotta have that balance. And I'm talking about balance. Like, yeah, it's okay to love your son. I don't have a problem with that. But then again, you gotta tell your son the truth. Look here, son, you down. Look here,
Hmm.
son, you got to play better defense. Your defense is your offense. I mean, you got to, get in that pep talk if you have to. Do like they used to do in Puerto Rico, slap the shit out of them, and then wake them up. So, but Ariana, I really believe, and I got to go back and see him fight at 122 because I think he more faster. I think his punch placements will be much better. He was hesitant to go in there and go not head hunting, but to mix up his punches because he did go to the body very well. Matter of fact, I think them body shots were hurting Castillo, and
Yeah,
but I mean, still in all, he stood in there, and I gotta give him credit. Knockout, you
yeah,
gotta
you
give
have
him
to.
credit. No, win, lose, or draw. See, that's what I'm talking about. You might lose a fight, you might lose your belt, but you took something from that loss, and you're gonna apply it on the next go around. You're gonna apply it on the next fight because I mean, really, if you think about it, you know, when you lose, you made mistakes somewhere down the line. That's what film is for, to go look and see what you have done. Then you work on that. Now, this is the problem I have with a lot of fighters, and in particular, the Charlos. In particular, well, Earl is not like that, like he no more, really. But and they off when they not have a fight coming up. They not in training camp. They blow way up. They don't care about staying in shape. And that's what I love about the Russell brothers. They stay in shape. They stay in the gym, and so that's what I like. And you can pick up that form in short notice. Oh, I'm in shape. I just I'm working out at the gym. Hey, then he offer you a job, then boom, there you go.
Hmm.
But
Here,
Ariana,
let me
huh?
make let me make this real quick. I just want to provoke a thought because I see the chat saying, and you ask, and people were saying why was his father in this corner if he never been in this corner before. One thing I do want to say, these fighters, as KQKC said, they don't have any promotional deal. You know what I'm saying? These guys are fighting for pennies compared to some of the other fighters. So maybe they
Right.
couldn't afford a trainer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they hadn't got a payday in a while that's worth something. So maybe they couldn't afford to pay a trainer or pay good sparring or the cost of a training camp and shit. So maybe it was out of necessity that they just didn't have nobody else and he needed somebody in his corner because trainers cost money. They don't just come, they ain't just gonna come do a training camp for you or sit in your corner for free. Cut man, trainers,
Mhm.
those are careers. They all want to get paid, bro. So that's one other thing that it could be other than his dad just trying to get some spotlight and be on TV and all that shit. Maybe they just couldn't
Yep.
afford anybody else to train them.
Yep. So but I know he been in that inactive area, but like I say, a few more fights on his belt. I think he need to move down. I don't think that weight class is not ready for it because every time you step up in weight class, you're gonna find a harder puncher. Like my father used to tell me, you think you bad, and no, when I was in high school, I was trying to, do this and that, but it's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna be better than you. And I believe that every time you step up in weight class, you're not the man anymore. You're not the
Facts.
man anymore. When you moved up 147 like Danny Garcia, I think that was a mistake, but he did it anyway. He wasn't a man at 147 unless you pretty much cherry pick who you want to fight. So, but yeah, that was a good fight. And Ariana, I mean, like I say, he lost, but I gotta give him an A+ for heart, a E+ for heart. His eyes were swollen, and just was he because he was just too big. I was
Yeah.
looking at I was looking at the fight. Every time he threw a check hook or throw that left hand, it'll move Ariana. It'll
Yeah.
move him back. It literally like he picking him up off the ring for a minute, off the floor, off the canvas, and why he punching him, you know.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
when Ariel landed his body shots, Nunez still was standing straight up. When Nunez landed his left hook to the body, Ariel
mhm,
always folded a little bit, like God damn,
right,
this shit
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, that hurt. You know, he was smiling, but that hurt. You know. Then as time go on, you know, you start getting weaker and weaker, legs start getting heavier and heavier. So,
Shit don't
but
feel good, man.
yeah, yeah, it don't, you know. So, but that I love to see him fight at his weight class and be a you know a good that would be a good um weight class for Ariada. Now
hmm
then and only then he can move up, you know, slowly but surely and move up that way. All right. So all right, we got Tim Muncie and that super chat. Okay, he said, laughing out now, monkey for the homies. I appreciate the Sunday breakdown. Hey, I appreciate you, Tim Muncie. The
Appreciate
Skywalker.
you, Tim.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to sing it on a Sunday, you know, to kill time, you know. But I appreciate it. All right. I appreciate you, Tim. Okay. Now, now let's now would you through with that fight?
Yeah, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay. You know, so like I say, but he's a good party puncher. And I like that. Even though he lost, don't change that. Don't change that. You
I
know,
want to
and
see him again. Shit,
that's what I'm saying. I want to
straight
see him
up.
again
You know,
at
right?
at his weight class. I want to go in the archives and see a fight of him, the most recent one at 122. I want to see, did I see a difference? Do he still go to the body? Do he still focus on that body? That's the problem. You know, that body
Man,
shot
I ain't
don't.
one of these. I ain't one of these new wave boxing fans that just started watching boxing 5 years ago. Where if you
Mm,
lose, it's
mm.
over for you. Like, nah, bro. I remember a time
Right.
when
Yep.
you could lose and you could bounce back and shit. Like, I love the days of Winky Wright and shit like that. Like, bro, there's some
Mm,
it's some great fighters with losses. So I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Let's see him again.
mm-hmm. Yep. So, but now, uh, we got a bit of bad news. We got a bit of good news. You know, it depends on how you look at it. It depends on how much common sense you have, your
Mm.
basic common sense. Because right now, we're gonna get into the news portion of what's going on in the sport of boxing, and that is, of course, everything that every the fight that everyone been talking about for the last at least 3 years, and that's Terrence Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr. Now, I'm not going to bore you and say, well, I think Earl can beat Terrence. I think Terrence can beat Earl. No, no, it's not about that. It's about Top Rank. It's about PBC. They refused to put on this fight. The matchmaker, Tim Smith, which everybody think is a good guy,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much came out and said that, hey, look, that fight is not going to happen. I'm saying, well, okay, well, why is not going to happen, Tim? Well, that fight's not going to happen because no money. No money? PBC don't have no money? Well, of course they have money for Earl because he does sales. He's a pay-per-view star in this age. Okay, let's get this straight because I hear a lot of comments debunking what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that the numbers these guys are putting up are pay-per-view stars. It's just that in this day and age, they're not paying. Pay-per-view is not like that anymore. You know, high pay-per-view numbers are doing what 500,000 at pay-per-view buys, which a lot of guys like Floyd and everything, you never surpass those pay-per-view buys. So right now, PBC is saying that Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford will not happen because of no money. They don't want to insult Terrence Crawford. They believe if they insult Terrence Crawford, that's a disrespect, a sign of disrespect. Then they flipped it and said, well, he wasn't promoted right. So therefore, he's not a pay-per-view worthy star, which he's not. I mean, the facts is in the pudding, people. All right. Now, of course, this ain't only on PBC. This is top rank they getting their information from. Bob is screwing Terrence Crawford once he left. We all seen that. We all know that. But then again, he also messed with Earl Spence, Hall of Fame stats. Because if Earl could get undisputed at welterweight, which he worked hard to do, that's in jeopardy. Now it's forcing Earl Spence's hand. Because this is, look, 60-40. No, I'm not going 60-40. Okay, well, I'm not going 50-50. Now, somebody gonna have to break it down and make them understand that, look, this fight is gonna happen. Now, the public wants this fight. Well, we don't think they're gonna sell. I think they're gonna illegally stream it. Well, yes, they've been doing that shit. That ain't nothing different. But we talking about Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, arguably the best fight we're gonna have in the next 5 years, or the last 5 years we've been waiting on. So it's gonna make money. I think Tim Smith, he's a good guy. You know, I think sometimes he's full of shit, because it's no way you're gonna tell me the gate, the pay-per-view buy, because ain't nobody gonna stream that type of fight. I mean, you are some on me, but you don't want to miss some shit buffering and all that. And you know, you want to see a good fight. You want to see a great fight. And you don't want to miss nothing. Waiting on a 5.6 to reload or some shit like that.
All facts.
You know. So I mean, but right now, Tim Smith from PBC, you got to come up with something a little bit better than that. Besides, it ain't gonna be no fight. Then you messing up your own guy legacy. I mean, dude, that makes sense. You know, that messing with Earl now. Now, Earl, all the work he put in, and I'm not a fanboy, nothing like that, but we gotta be honest with ourselves. Earl Spence didn't have no rehab after he got out the car accident. His rehab was getting ready for Danny Garcia. And he fought in dominant fight that night. So I don't know where it's coming from, and maybe this time they have reached the end of their rope. Maybe they only got $100 in the bank account. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know,
fumes.
Right, you know,
they don't pay their loans and shit.
Right, it pay their loans and shit. You know,
they had to go take 2 paycheck stubs up to the cash checking spot, try to get a little loan.
Right,
the car title up there, get a title loan and shit.
Yeah. You know, and so, but I think if both guys want it, Terrence Crawford, look, I ain't no big Earl Spence fan, or I'm not trying to shit on Crawford. But Crawford's very stubborn. He's very stubborn. It's my way or no way. And so now Earl got to go back and talk to his team and say, look here, it's got to be a way that we can work this out. It's got to be a way that I don't have to give you 50-50 to get the fight going. But this is the question to the chat. Do Earl Spence have to give up and say, hey, you know what? To make this fight happen, I'm going to go ahead and give him 50-50. And no pay-per-view, no live gate, just straight 50-50. Is that a good thing?
That's a tough question. So here's my take on it. Number one, I don't think anybody should ever give up what they worth. Because these promoters, these networks, they ain't gonna give up what they worth. You know what I mean? They gonna make sure that they get their money. So as a boxer who could go in there and die, you got to make sure that you're gonna get your worth and you're gonna get your money. But here's my thing with Tim Smith, right? Tim Smith, I believe this is public negotiations to try to drive Terrence Crawford's numbers down. That's what I believe. Because I remember when Canelo and Caleb Plant were in negotiations, Caleb Plant came out and said all these things that they had agreed to for Canelo. Came out and basically publicly shamed Canelo. So that they could finally get their fight made. I believe Tim Smith is doing it because he said we don't have the money for Crawford. is what he said. And so
well, yeah, Crawford. Crawford
he's
won a
trying
lot.
to he's trying to
Yeah.
drive the price down on Crawford. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, if I'm Earl Spence, or if I'm anybody looking at this situation, it's a PBC fighter, I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, so you ain't got money for me and Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing, but I just watched you give Canelo Alvarez 40 million and Caleb Plant 10 million. I just watched you put Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view.
Facts.
Right? I'm
Yep.
hearing that I'm hearing, and it's a news article up, and I'm sure we'll touch on this, so I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but I'm hearing that you might be about to pay Canelo again, because they saying Canelo might be in negotiation with Jamal Charlo. So I'm hearing all of this shit. I'd be damned if you ain't got money for me. I'd be damned. And the reason I think it's negotiations too, because really think about it. Like, look at the networks that PBC fight on. You mean to tell me Fox, who got the Cowboys every week, Fox, who got like 18 channels, they got Fox News, FS1, FS12, Fox Sports Southwest. You mean to tell me they won't put up the money to make this fight happen, knowing how big this fight is?
Right.
They'll put up the money, man. I think they just negotiating. I think this might be because you had a lot of Terrence Crawford people. And this is why you got to watch what your people say, right? You got people that are in his camp that are all on his swinging from his genitals, so to speak. I ain't gonna make the language too bad this morning. That are swinging from his genitals in his camp. What they promoting? Oh man, we need to stream this fight until Spence fight Crawford. We need to stream this. We need to get rid of we need to not support Spence until he fight Crawford. So Tim Smith and the PBC are like, all right, cool. We ain't got no money for you. You want to sit up here and try to shit on us? We're gonna shit on you back. You know how this boxing shit is. They be petty and shit going back and forth. But I'll be damned if a boxing fan, if I'm gonna sit up here and believe that you can find the money, to put to put Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. You found the money for Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola on pay-per-view. Y'all probably forgot that shit. But I remember that shit was a pay-per-view fight, man. Yeah. They charged us for that shit. Yeah. So you mean to tell me you got all that shit, but y'all ain't got money for the biggest fight in boxing? That's the most hyped up fight. I don't give a damn where you from. I don't give a damn what color you are. Literally you can just go here on YouTube. Every content creator, whether they bias and you can tell that they really don't like these fighters, or whether you can tell they love one of these fighters, everybody talk about this fight, bro. Yeah. Everybody talks about this fight. So they'll put up money for it. I'm not trying to hear nothing Tim Smith saying. I think at the very best, I think he's just trying to negotiate and shit. I think they trying to drive Crawford's price down. But if what he is saying is trying to be true, all they gotta do is go upstairs to one of them Fox executive offices. They'll see the numbers. They'll see how the traction that this fight gets when you talk about this fight. Somebody will put money up for this fight. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Right. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And then furthermore, Showtime, if you want to talk Showtime, they owned by CBS. Okay? I want y'all to understand that CBS owns Showtime. CBS is just as big, the same CBS that got the NFL too, right? They get all the AFC, Patrick Mahomes games and all that shit. That's CBS. They own Showtime. Somebody got some money for Al Heyman and them to put on this fight, bro. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm not trying to hear that shit. So they can miss me with that shit, bro. And that's really all I got on it. Like, nah, don't talk about you ain't got no money. It's the same thing when these fighters come out here and they say, oh, what has this fighter done? This ain't proved shit. But I'm watching you fighting dudes that's sorrier than this dude. It's the same thing for these promoters. You can't say you ain't got money for this fight over here when I'm watching you put on all these lesser ass fights. What you do is you take a page out of Fury and Wilder 3. You get this fight made, you give us a fire ass undercard, and it's gonna perform just as good in pay-per-view numbers, if not better in pay-per-view numbers. So they can go to hell with that shit. I heard that shit, man. That shit made me mad. Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Yeah. You know, and like I said, you know, when you work that hard, and I'm talking about coming off a car accident and coming off an eye injury, you know, and I went over yesterday how most people think that Earl Spence might just lose if it go to a decision because he was kind of timid with that eye. And I mean, I had all kind of stories about Earl Spence. You know, he can get caught because he's too busy changing up his style, trying to protect that eye. And I think Earl Spence knows what he's doing. And yes, he is a self-motivator. He's not going to get in that ring unless he have everything tweaked, everything, all I's dotted and T's are crossed. But in closing on this, I will say this, that they can find the money.
Yeah.
Why do you have to lowball Terrence Crawford? You don't have to do that either. Hey,
At
look
all.
here. I don't care who invests in it. Hell, get Warren Buffett some damn body, and this goes back to show you that if black fighters, they have the money put up for their own league or whatever, um, but it's still in all. What I'm trying to say is this: that Earl Spence, he could demand them. Well, you better find a way. You
He gonna
better
have
find
to.
a way,
Yeah.
to make this happen. And I believe it. Now, some people say, oh man, it's gone. Oh man, I knew that was gonna happen. It ain't gonna never happen. No, you all got to keep the faith that it will happen. Y'all got to keep the faith and the pressure that it will happen, because you'd be surprised how many of them guys listen to us. So, I mean, there you go. So, but we'll see. Everybody want to see it, so let's see it. You know. So, but yeah, that's all. That's all I have, man. And I think Earl Spence should stick to his guns, and he worked too hard. Now, if he win or lose, okay, that's fine. I believe if Earl Spence lose, he would do everything in his power to get a shot at 154.
Yeah.
So
And I just want to, I
yeah.
want to say this, and I know we'll move to some other stories, but if
Mhm.
you are Earl Spence, if you are Erickson Lubin, Tank Davis, who's managed by Al Heyman, if you are Frank the Ghost Martin, if you are Jamel Charlo, any of these PBC fighters, if you're any of them, David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, if you're watching this shit unfold, I'm watching it very close, because ain't no way in hell, bro. Ain't no way in hell you gonna tell me you got 10 million for Plant and 40 million for Canelo, but you ain't got like 18 million for Spence and 12 million for Crawford, or 20 million for Spence and 10, whatever the numbers are. Ain't no way. They are not gonna demand no $50 million in purse between the two of them, bro. They not. They're not gonna demand that shit. So they can man, they better make this shit happen. If it don't happen for the PBC or some network shit, man, I'm going so hard on, I might make a week straight of videos just shitting on them. And all the videos gonna be titled shitting on the PBC, bro. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
I mean, that would be that would be the worst of the worst, because this is the modern day Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. But they caught on after Floyd did what he did, made money. They caught on. So they think that it's not enough people out there to find interest in this fight. Are you
All
crazy?
lies. Yeah,
Are
all
you
lies,
crazy?
man.
It's all we've been talking about. We all been
Hey,
going back and forth.
hey,
Everybody
Bobo, it's it wouldn't be a shame. It is a shame because it didn't already have. Matter of fact, so much so, in fact, not hardcore fans, is people in his camp. I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of saying their name on here, because this ain't about them. But people in his camp that have YouTube channels are saying stream the fight, bro. So
Yeah.
it's happening already. Like it's bad, bro. Like just because you like one fighter don't mean you gotta hate the other. I thought we were all boxing fans.
Right.
But there's a whole nother conversation. Like, I want to watch both of them fight. Shit, I be ordering both of their fights, watching both of them. I don't
do you? Okay.
just because you like one don't mean you gotta hate the other. Shit.
Right.
Yeah, I ordered this. Man, I couldn't hit by fast enough on that Crawford and Porter fight, man. Because it was a great fight. Shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
I'm not emotionally invested in these fighters.
The
people I'm emotionally invested in is back there sleeping, KQ. You know what I'm saying? They sleeping, they chilling, they in the house with me. Everybody else, like, bro, come on. I just like the sport.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, that I don't have. Why would he have the audacity to say that no one would buy it? Everybody was streaming. Yeah. I mean, it's always been there. I mean, what's the difference now? I mean, they've been streaming it anyway. Matter of fact, they figured in the legal streaming. and raise it up because more and more people getting links or whatever, and they might get a buff here and there,
Yeah, you'll let your shit buffer for Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz, but a lot more people will buy that shit for Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. And this came out of Tim Brown mouth ROS, somebody directly with the PBC. He like their PR person, one of their VPs or some shit. He said this shit. So it's not sources, bro. This is directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But yeah, bro, people let their shit. People on Amazon Fire Stick the hell out of one of these lower, like Areola and fucking Ruiz and shit. They'll Fire Stick that shit. You know what I'm saying? But you get Spence and Crawford on the docket, people like, I gotta have my shit right. They ordering food, like they calling Wingstop the day before for the food order the next day and shit. They ordering the fight, making sure they internet is straight. All of that shit, man, because you don't want nothing to mess up. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Well. Okay, I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, so what was that, man? Now, but anyway, I was saying about Smith. So there's no way that we're gonna sit here and not buy that fight. So they can miss me, but I still believe it's gonna happen. Because Earl Spence, knowing him and his team, I think they're gonna push that fight when it's a will, it's a way. And like you said, if you're gonna do that for Ortiz or you can do that for Canelo, get him a bag, why he can't get one?
Mm-hmm.
Why he can't get one? I mean, sure, you happy for Canelo, and he's not really a PBC fighter. Earl Spence is a true PBC fighter. I had heard Earl on a tape saying, hey, look, I'm PBC all day long. I'm Al Heyman all day long. And you know what? Okay, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Everybody got their own opinion, all right? But there's no way that this fight, or we're going to allow this fight not to take place. It's going to have to take place this year, no doubt about it. But they're going to have to find some money, no doubt about it. And they will. I guarantee you they will. So... but that's all I got on that, So, but anyway, looking at something. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it. All right.
You want to talk about you want to talk about Canelo and Charlo?
Well, yes, sir. You know that too.
Yes, sir. So let me I got the article pulled up. Okay, let me read a bit of it to you. So this is from Mike Carpenter. And this is what it says. It says, I'm hearing it's much more likely he'll fight Jamal Charlo on Cinco de Mayo. They are in talks right now for that fight. And then it also goes on to say, here's what Charlo said. Charlo says, he's scared. Where you at, Cinnamon? We've been calling you out for a long time. Show up. Get the people what they want to see. People want to see us fight the best in the world. Come on, man. I'll go to Mexico to fight Canelo at his house. And then Tim Bradley goes on to say, here they are asking Tim Bradley about, he said, I don't know who Makabu is. I don't care what he is, but nobody knows who he is. It's an orchestrated greatness, bro. We want to see you in a real fight. So a fight with Benavidez or Charlo is what the people want to see. What do you think about these rumors and these news reports and these articles starting to come up that it might be Canelo and your boy Jamal Charlo, man? You think he got a shot?
Well, yes, I do think he have a shot. Now, I know, I'm not a big Canelo fan. Yeah, but he still is a good boxer. Now, now the PED debacle, whatever. Okay, all right. We know what happened. We know it's done. Well, we think it's done. We don't know what fight he was tested positive or not. It doesn't matter. But if you can fight, and like I say, whatever he's taking is not making him a superhero. It's just making him deal maybe with punches better. But if Jamal moves like he always moved, athleticism, he got that real down tight. But he gonna have to stop and fight. That's the only way he can sit down his punches. That's the only way he gonna get the respect from Canelo. Because Canelo's the type to say, hey, He got respectable power, but he doesn't have anything that can hurt me. So that in itself, first of all, I hope his ass is happy because I like the Charlos. I told you I like them and everything, but they kept chasing Canelo. They put their career on hold. They put their family on hold just to sit there and fight Canelo or worry about Canelo. Same way with his brother. Same with Demetrius Andrade. Everybody, where you at, Cinnamon? Where you at? Where you at? Well, you know where he's at? Trying to make history. That's where he at. That's where he at. He's trying to go up to cruiserweight. That's where he at. Try to make history to say, no, I'm not a undisputed champion. Plus, more belts, So that's what he's trying to do. And now, now that this fight is a little older, because if Canelo's trying to take a play out of Floyd playbook, well, he did it well. He pretty much had him sitting down and had him waiting till he got a little older. But would that have been a smart thing or a dumb thing? Because I can't see Crawford getting. I mean, not Crawford. I'm sorry. Canelo getting in there, which is a high risk, and this is a damn show, high reward, So at the end of the day, I would like to see them both of them, get it on. This is what needs to happen. I mean, even though Charlo might lose, it's a possibility. You got to keep it straight. It's a
Shit, hell
possibility
yeah.
you lose. So and far as the knockout is concerned, Canelo does have a chance. No matter what he might have allegedly took or whatever, he still have a chance. So, so that's basically all I got. And but I got to, what's really bothering me, knockout man,
Yeah.
is this Spence, thing, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's really messing with me because if they do that to us, and and next thing you know, Spence going to 154, it's over with then.
Yeah, it's over
You
because
know,
Crawford can't get that high, I don't think.
right.
I don't think he can get he came up from 135. Like his body maxed out, I think. I think if he
Well,
go up to 154, he'll be too small there. So I don't think he going to 154.
right. So I mean, now Earl has a chance. He can fight between weight classes, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to. You can't do that when you fighting for undisputed. So that's the thing about it. You have to either drop those belts, the ones you have, and go ahead and move up and be somebody mandatory because that's the rule. If you
Mm-hmm.
are a mandatory of a champion that you move up to, I mean, they automatically make you a mandatory.
Yeah, if you're the champion, then
So
you move up. Yeah, for some of
right,
those weight
right.
classes. Yeah, I mean for some of those sanctioning bodies. Yep, you're right. Yeah,
No,
it bothers me too, KQ, just because like we always get shit that we don't ask for as boxing fans, and the shit that we ask for, we can't never get. We've been asking. We asked for Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. That fight got ruined. We asked for Devin Haney and Lomachenko. That fight never happened. You know what I'm saying? We've been asking for years. Another fight we've been asking for that goes under the radar. How long we've been asking for Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko? We didn't get to get that fight. Now there's news reports coming out that we might not get Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford because of these comments made by Tim Smith. Like it's just bad news after bad news. So that's why fights like Chocolatito and Estrada, we got to show up and show out and show them like, yo, you give us a good fight, your numbers gonna be high as hell. You know what I'm saying? You give us what we want as boxing fans, your numbers gonna be high as hell. So yeah, it's bothering me a little bit too. But I'm like KQ said, I'm gonna hold that hope, and what I'm gonna decide to believe, and what I'm reading the tea leaves to believe is that this is just a negotiation tactic. They're trying to negotiate. They're trying to drive Crawford price down, trying to make him be reasonable because we don't know. We don't know. We're not privy to that information. What if Crawford asking for 25 million or something crazy?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What if he asking for 30 million? And what if he's like, yo, it got to be 60-40 my way or don't even call me? What if the shit he's saying in public, he doing that shit behind the scenes too?
Yeah.
Because then that will make some comments like this come out. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, damn, this fight ain't gonna happen because we not finna do Spence like that. Like this man, he making all kind of crazy requests. And I'm not saying he is or isn't, but if he is, that would explain some comments like that. As far as Charlo and Canelo, look, man, I know you. I like Charlo too.
Mhm.
I'm a fan of his. I just I hate to see that it seemed like he's waited around for Canelo for a bunch of reasons. For a bunch of reasons.
Mhm.
Number one, I would have liked him to build his own legacy and continue to fight way better fighters before fighting Canelo, because I think Devonchenko is a great opponent, but when you fighting Dennis Hogan's and Montiel's and Brandon Adams and people like that, Centino and Korobov and Highland and all these people, when you fight those types of fighters, they don't get you ready for a big fight like this. That's the
Right.
first thing. The
Right.
second, the second thing I don't like is that I'm not gonna blame Canelo, because I think people are trying to do this, because I've been listening to people talk about this topic. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
blame Canelo because it looks like Charlo might have started to get undisciplined, or because he might have started partying too much and maybe the money has gotten to his head and people are like, oh man, Canelo waited for him to get older, or waited for him to look bad, and now he's cherry picking. We're not gonna do that, y'all. We're not gonna call Jamal Charlo a cherry pick. We're not gonna blame Canelo Alvarez for another person's discipline or lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? We not doing that. Jamal Charlo is a champion, a two division champion, and if this fight gets made,
Mhm.
Charlo is gonna be ready to fight, I believe, and he gonna come. He gonna come to give it. He ain't gonna lay down. And one thing that I hope is that sometimes you need a challenge. Sometimes you need something that's gonna get those juices flowing, so to speak. And if he get a fight with Canelo, that's gonna get him back in that gym and working really, really, really hard. And he gonna be alive. I believe they'll have Canelo as the favorite, but he gonna be a live dog, man.
Mhm.
He gonna be a live dog, and he gonna come in there ready to fight. And people are talking about him getting acclimated to 168. I don't think y'all understand how huge of a 160 pounder that he's been. Like, he was shrinking down to make middleweight. Jamal Charlo is absolutely positively huge, y'all. And coming up to 168 is probably gonna help him as far as his conditioning, his strength, his power on his punches. It's gonna help him more than it's gonna hurt him. He's bigger than Canelo Alvarez. He's bigger and more muscular and all of that shit. It's going. I think it's a great fight. And if where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they
Mhm.
sitting up here and they saying that they ain't negotiating, I believe some talks are being had, because that Macaboo guy is about to fight already. He already about to fight. So Canelo he got to look for something else, another option. And defending this just seemed like right. Like, defending against Charlo, Canelo likes to pull people up. He likes to look for different advantages and shit.
Right.
Trying to maybe fight a smaller fighter that's not acclimated to the weight. Looking at Charlo on Instagram, maybe drinking and shit. This is the type of opponent he would pick.
Mhm.
And so, hey man, go do it, Canelo. I'll give you credit if you beat him. I'll give you full credit if you beat him. This is all I'm asking for as a boxing
Right.
fan, is for you to fight somebody like this. Cause I don't care if you hate Jamal Charlo, you know who he is. And you
Right.
know damn well, no matter how much you try to shit on him, you know that's a tough fight for Canelo. You can act like
Mhm.
you don't know, but everybody know that's a tough fight, and it's gonna be a good fight. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited for that fight. Hopefully we get to see that shit, man.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. The Kenyan said, are you talking to Jeffrey? I think it would be easier fight for Canelo than against Plant. Okay. Okay. Now Plant. Now this is the rumor that Jamal Charlo is moving up to 168 to fight Callum Plant. Now I don't know how true that is, but I think he got another problem at 168, and that's David Benavidez.
All facts.
So I mean, that's a fight that can do a very good number if Charlo get in there. Look, I know the Charlo very well. I like them inside the ring, but outside the ring, they talk too damn much. They need a spokesperson. But uh, they too focus on Canelo. Let Canelo do what they want to do. Let go in there and fight someone with a big name, because at the end of the day, they're gonna pretty much gonna have to see the Charlos, Jamal. Really, all you got to do is
Yeah.
go in there and work your side and work, and whatever who they put in front of you, you beat them. You put your all into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Canelo will come over and say, okay, you know what? My popularity is going down or whatever. And then I mean, and fight with Demetrius Andrade. So,
And
yeah.
the thing about that too, like I've heard people also say, oh man, he trying to catch Jamal Charlo before he get acclimated to the weight. What's to stop him? What's to stop him from fighting before Cinco de Mayo? Like here's the thing, like if you Jamal Charlo, if you need to move up, and I think Caleb Plant is a great fight, because shit, if you can't beat Caleb Plant, you can't beat Canelo anyway. So you need to move up and you need to fight. You need to fight at 168. You ain't fought since June of 2021 if you Jamal Charlo. So that's the other thing. Like guys just waiting around, waiting on that ticket for Canelo.
Right.
Caleb Plant did that shit, and I think it hurt him. I think it hurt his chances in the fight. If you go back and watch the breakdown of me picking Canelo to knock him out, I said, how the hell Canelo done fought 2 or 3 times this year, and you ain't fought at all because you just waiting around on him. If you Jamal Charlo, keep this in mind. Since the last time Jamal Charlo fought, Canelo fought 2 times. He fought right around the time that Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. Charlo was fighting, and then Canelo fought Plant later on in the year. And now Canelo gonna fight Charlo again if they do fight in May. Meanwhile, Charlo ain't fought since June of 2021. That shit hurts you, bro. That shit hurts you. So you know. It is what it is, but you got to stay active. And I hear you do straight, but if you waiting around, that's gonna hurt your chances. You know, it's gonna hurt your chances just sitting there waiting around on Canelo. So Charlo need to get busy, even if he move up to 168 and fight Darrell or some shit. He just need to get a fight in. And again, if you can't beat Darrell, you can't beat Canelo. And if you're going in there to win, you shouldn't be worried about losing to somebody before you fight the fighter you really want to fight. Because 160 to 168 is a big jump, but Charlo walk around like 200 something pounds, bro. 200 something pounds. So I mean, he can make the jump easily. He just gotta. I think he need to maybe get one fight in, but it is what it is, man. I just hope we get to see that fight, because this is one of the fights we've been asking for years. And is again, we can't ask for fights like this for years, and then when the fight sound like it might happen, we get ready to start shitting on it and making excuses because we don't want to see a certain fighter win. So I'm hoping the fight happens. Shit, I'm hoping we get to see that shit.
Yeah, me
straight
too.
up and down.
Yeah, me too. And I've been waiting a long time to see it. And like I say, I don't have no personal involvement in either one. I think both guys are talented. I think that it will be a fight made if they have to reach outside and do whatever. You know, Earl is a free agent now. Terrence Crawford, free agent. I mean, they can make it happen. They can make it happen. And if I was Earl's fans, you know, hey, I would take a chance and look here. This is me. This is you. You know, the whole Dallas community and Las Vegas community. You know, so. But yeah. What else you got? Any other news that you heard of yet?
Let's see. Let's go. Let's go check it out, man. Oh yeah, Eddie Hearn. Here we go. This is what we can talk about. Eddie Hearn is worried about Anthony Joshua changing trainers in the rematch with Usyk. He thinks it might have been a bad move for Anthony Joshua to get a new trainer. He says it's a huge risk, but if you feel like you need a change and you can't go in a specific way anymore, the alternative is much more risky. What do you think of people criticizing Anthony Joshua for changing trainers for this Usyk fight?
Well, you can't criticize him because he's trying to repeat like he did with Andy Ruiz. He's trying to go, over, well, not Dubai, but he's trying to do like he did. And this is where AJ lack of, right? Because he kept winning. He kept getting soft touches, except for maybe Klitschko. And he stayed away from Wilder because, he didn't want to get knocked out. So, but he's entitled to, I lost my train of thought. But he's entitled to a lot fights at that level. But with Canelo, let him do what he gonna do, man. Let him do what he gonna do, because Charlo, he gonna do what he gonna do. He need to go ahead and fight David Benavidez. That's a good name on a resume. That's a good fight. That's a good payday. Now, when he win that fight, Canelo gonna have to see him because everybody gonna want that fight. Just like with Earl Spence. If Earl Spence be you guys, everybody gonna be calling out Crawford, 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 Crawford. So that fight gonna get made, I believe, sooner or later. Same way with Canelo and Charlo. If that fight get made after let's say let's say Kellen Plant. All right. Now, I'm not saying that that's gonna be next, whatever. But what if Charlo beat Kellen Plant? And we talking about in high fashion, better than Canelo. Then they're gonna talk about, okay, well, Charlo, listen. Canelo, listen. This guy been chasing you for so long, and just let's put an end to this. Let's go ahead and fight him for an undisclosed amount. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, so for me, people criticizing the Anthony Joshua subject. People
Okay.
criticizing.
That was you asking me.
Yeah, that's what we was talking about. We was talking about Anthony Joshua. It's all good because we
Okay,
were
I'm
talking
sorry.
about Canelo and
Okay, I'm taking
and
this note
Charlo
to
too.
that interview. Okay, go ahead.
No. So for
Let me touch on that knockout.
yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
so Eddie Hearn is worried about Anthony Joshua changing trainers, and people are starting to criticize him because he's changing trainers. And I was trying to get your thoughts on that, then I was gonna give mine.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, man. I was trying to focus on it. But anyway, Anthony Joshua. Listen, I know y'all Anthony Joshua fans. I get it. All right, I understand that. But Anthony Joshua right now, career is on a downslide. Okay, it's no more that Andy Ruiz coming back in Dubai thing. That's not going to happen. All right, you cannot go get Floyd Mayweather, a welterweight, that he can teach you something. Now, I might step on somebody's toes, but I don't care. All right. But Deontay Wilder, remember how all the films that you all see him fighting, he looked good, didn't he? He looked good stepping around and working the body and this and that. But when you get in the actual fight, you get hit by something meaningful. Then that psychological make you say, okay, my right hand always bailed me out, but it couldn't bail him out that time because you always revert back to what you know. And what he knew was, okay, let's go to the right hand. But the equilibrium was thrown off and boosh, there you go. Now, with Anthony Joshua, he stayed away from fighters like Wilder and knockouts and stuff like that. Well, Anthony Ruiz, what he did, he saw a little fat Pillsbury Doughboy right in front of him. But he didn't look at his hands. He didn't look at see how fast his hands were. And his hands was fast. I don't think AJ really was giving him thought. I think AJ was looking through Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. You got to look at the man that's facing you right head up right now. And I think he got surprised by that. And now he went on and took on another boxer, but he's a slick boxer. Now, keep in mind, AJ is not that type of fighter. He walked to you to fight you. He's not going to get up on his toes and this and that. No heavyweight, really, because they're too big, But Anthony Joshua was one-dimensional. He was one-dimensional. Everything came behind the jab. Everything 1-2, 1-2. Then a left hook and a right hook, and that's it. No body action. How many body punches have he actually thrown? And not very many, So
not a lot, yeah.
Not very many. So I would say it's safe to say that his career is winding down, and it came to that point where you made a lot of money. The UK, they are the boxing, whatever, over there. A lot of good fights, and I think it's time, to make a name for yourself without Canelo. If you do want to fight finally, well, go ahead, fight him. But I'm sorry, Anthony Joshua, your career is just about over with because that rematch with Usyk, you will lose.
Damn, you doing the prediction already?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be harsh, like I said.
You ain't gonna go back and watch the first fight or nothing. You calling it right now?
Yes, because I did that knockout. I did that and everything, and I can't see Anthony Joshua making any adjustments or not. If he threw his hardest punch, Usyk won't be there. That's one heavyweight that fits in as far as weight, but as far as finesse, slick fighter, and this and that, I don't think so. I think he'd pick AJ apart. AJ be looking for
Yeah.
him, he'd be behind him because these are one heavyweight. And excuse the comparison, but it's there. This is one heavyweight that that's not that big and not that small, but light on his feet. Light on his feet.
Yeah.
You know, Big Baby Anderson, I mentioned him. He's a big guy. He still got that baby fat up top. Tone it up. Tone it up. But that's why he's so light on his feet. I made an example the other day. You ever seen a big guy go out there in the wedding or something like that, having a good time? He in the wedding and then he drunk and shit, but he light on his feet, right? He's fat, but he light on his feet, man. I'm like, man, that dude out there
surprise the shit out you on that dance floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
he out there with 2 girls dancing on a 6 record. I'm like, man, that dude gone, you know. So that's Anthony Joshua. And and Eddie knows, he's on a down spiral, you know, so it is what it is, man. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, so for me, a couple of things. So AJ, I'm not gonna criticize him for changing trainers. Like that's what we ask for fighters to do. Like go search, go find a way to try to be successful. And Rob McCracken, he hit his limit with him. So I don't understand the need for fans to criticize him for trying. Like at least he trying shit. Like what y'all want him to do? Number one, not even try to change trainers to try to get better, try to see if there's something he can do. So I'm cool with him changing trainers. That's the first thing. As far as people are criticizing him for even not stepping aside anyway. Like y'all are crazy, bro. People are criticizing him for not taking step aside money for Fury. Y'all are crazy as hell. Like we ask these guys to be warriors and shit. We want them to fight. And when they behave like it, when they like, nah, bro, I want to try to get my belts back, we want to criticize that shit too. I think boxing fans should make up their mind with that shit. Because at the end of the day, no matter whether or not I think he's gonna win or not, that's a whole different conversation. I respect him for losing his belts and trying to go get them back. I respect him for the same way that Deontay Wilder was like, look, for whatever reason, Mark Breland, I don't trust you no more. I don't think you can help me. I gotta go in a different direction. It's the same thing that AJ is doing with Rob McCracken. Like, hey, I don't trust you. I don't think your instructions were good, or I don't think you can help me fight the way I need to fight to have a shot against Usyk. So I'm going elsewhere. So I don't think we should criticize him from now. You know what I'm saying, for that, because it's something that's to be commended when you try to go back and get your belts back. Now, as far as the Floyd Mayweather stuff, I agree with you. Like I think that's for sure. I think AJ is so naive. Floyd just using him. Like Floyd just want, he want to be the center of attention and shit. Oh, look, I'm training AJ. I'm here to help. I'm doing this. Ha ha ha. Yada yada yada. All that stuff. I don't think he really got AJ interest at heart in trying to train him, because he cannot teach AJ the style that he need to teach, that he need to do to even have a shot against Usyk. And it's to be a bruiser, to be the physically stronger guy, go to the body and try to hurt him. He can't box with Usyk at all. And so he need to go to a trainer that's gonna do that for him, try to help him learn that style of boxing. Because I don't know who he's picking yet, but he is definitely leaving Rob McCracken, and I'm not gonna criticize him for it. I think it's a good move. Shit, I think it's something that he needs to do, because if he went back in there with Rob McCracken with a similar game plan, he'd have no shot. He'd have no shot whatsoever. So at least he's trying to give himself a shot. So that's to be commended and that's to be respected. That's really all I got on it as we wrap up the show, man. That's
one thing about before you wrap it up. Do you think that Anthony Joshua, even though let's say he keep McCracken, maybe McCracken might come up with a game plan, or he's only focused on AJ and what he can do. He don't want to go up and beyond, because it's ways that he can beat Usyk if he come forward, kind of fight small,
Mm-hmm.
But then again, usually don't want the phone boot action. So if you learn how to cut off the ring correctly, I have said this over and over. You cut off the ring correctly, you pretty much step over, step over, step over left, or step over right. And that way he can't do nothing but go around or try to
Mm-hmm.
squeeze through. One. So, but yeah, I think AJ got hard. I think he want to quit and decline on his own terms.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's all I got. I think really that if you don't get a new trainer, and plus remember, when you get a new trainer, you got to get used to him. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get in there and get a fight with him. You got to just pretty much make some noise. Then y'all get a rapport. Y'all, you just can't get any old trainer to tell you what to do. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So the
Mhm.
way that AJ needs to fight real quick, the way
Mhm.
he needs to fight, I don't think he got it up here mentally. I don't think he got the confidence that he's gonna need because that style of fighting, coming forward, going to the body, that means that you got to make it a dog fight and you got to make it ugly. And I hate to say it, I think Ruiz took the dog out of him. Cause when
Right.
AJ, when he got hurt by Klitschko, he was still
Mhm.
he was still that dude. He still kept coming forward and he stopped Klitschko because he hadn't been
Yeah.
stopped yet. With the way that Ruiz fought him, AJ ain't fought the same since. He wasn't the same in the second Ruiz fight. Even when he beat Kubrat Pulev, he was still tentative in that fight, and then he
Mhm.
came out tentative against Usyk. So to fight a guy
Mhm.
that can clearly outbox you, that got more skills than you, it take a certain type of mindset of, I know you gonna hit me, I know you gonna have moments in this fight, but I'm walking through all of that shit to land my shit because I know I'm gonna hurt you eventually. And I don't
Mhm.
think AJ got that shit in him mentally to do that type of tough ass shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough fight plan. So that's what I think about it. I think when it comes down to it, it might not matter who his trainer is. Usyk just a bad matchup for him. You feel what I'm saying? But that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I got for it, man.
But that's I mean, yeah, it's a bad matchup, but that's all he got. I mean, he can't
That's
get
his
out
only
of it.
shot. You're right, though.
Yeah. So, hey man, that's all I got. And I appreciate you joining me again this morning. I appreciate everyone that came out. We had close to 100 people in here today. And I hope everyone hit the like button. If you didn't, hit it now. That way, you too can pretty much share this video. All right. And I appreciate Knockout Boxing TV for how that grind and how he did a great show last night. And also, if you all can put on your calendars today at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Time, I will be interviewing none other than Johnny Rice, heavyweight, that pretty much showed up and showed out against
Hmm.
Coffee.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
gonna be a
so
great interview. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna
yes,
be fire.
sir. So
Hmm.
I mean, that would be great. He will get into his mother. He would get into what got him started boxing. He did play Division 1 ball. I'm not gonna give everything out, but you all are welcome to put in your questions. Now, I prefer it in a super chat. No, it don't have to be in a super chat, okay? It ain't about the money, all right? So don't get all tripping. But I'll try to catch many questions as possible. Okay, it depends on how much time he has. But he said this would be a good time, so that's why at 3 o'clock. All
All
right.
right, man. Hey,
So,
I hope you have a great interview. I know you're gonna do well.
mhm.
It's gonna be lit. Y'all be sure if you hear this morning, go do what you need to do so you can be in the building at 3 p.m. It's gonna be a great interview with KQKC. As far as me, man, I'm right here on YouTube. Y'all know where to find me. Knockout Boxing 86 TV, live every Wednesday night, live every Friday night, and then live right here with the singing OG KQKC Boxing Network. Man, y'all smash the thumbs up for us. Mr. Mechanical, my answer to your question is Derrick James. Derrick James, I think AJ needs somebody that can teach him how to go to the body, have good punch placement, and still be able to use his jab from a distance. You go look at Earl Spence fight. You look at how Frank the Ghost Martin fights. They always go into the body. Their punch placement is very good, and they also know how to use their jab. Those are the tools that I think AJ would need to be successful to slow Usyk's feet down, get some of that lateral movement away from him, and really pay dividends and have a chance to hurt Usyk. Then once he's going to the body, maybe he can land that vicious right hand that he got later on in the fight. But I think a trainer like that can get him to go to the body. And also Derrick James is a very good teacher in the corner. So if an adjustment needs to be made, if Anthony Joshua is losing, I haven't seen one fight where I've seen Derrick James giving bad instructions. He gives good instructions in the corner. You go look at Jermell Charlo's last fight. If he listened to Derrick James, I feel like he pulls out that fight instead of getting the draw, because Derrick James was giving him outstanding instructions in the corner of that fight. So if I could pick one in a knockout world, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think the world of Derrick James as a trainer. So that would be because I think he's the best trainer in the world. So I'd pick the best trainer in the world for AJ to give him the best shot. Just my opinion. But that's all I got, man.
Okay, well, I appreciate everybody coming in. And next, we got Stormy B Man coming up. He will be having a call-in show right after Knockout Boxing KQKC, the morning after show. Now, keep in mind, we will be back next Sunday.
Yes,
next
sir.
Sunday, we'll be back, and we'll have a hellified card next week. And we will cover all those fights round by round and blow by blow. Now, appreciate Big Dog Willie in the super chat. I hear Canelo could KO Hagler.
Shit, boy.
You know, I know we run against time here, but listen, they got Canelo as Superman. They got him as a superhero, right? He can knock out anybody at any given time. He can go up to heavyweight and start knocking out people. You know, look, stop talking about this 5-foot guy that's short, don't have a long reach, and yes, respectful power, but he's not going to knock out a heavyweight. He's not going to get standing up and get punched like that. Yeah, he's not coming for it. We know his fighting style, but go forward on a heavyweight and see what happens. Go forward on a heavyweight.
What we're not gonna do is disrespect Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's what bro.
Oh,
he was
no,
a savage,
no.
bro.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
bro, he walked. That shit would look like Tommy. That shit would look like Tommy Hearns, bro. Like, man, he ain't. First of all, they had to fight at middleweight, all right? Because Hagler never moved out middleweight. So middleweight Canelo versus middleweight Hagler. Shit, boy, stop it. Just stop it, bro. Boy, y'all better go watch some. Y'all better go watch Big Dog Willer, whoever you hearing that from. They better go rewatch some Hagler tape. Shit. They better go rewatch Marvelous Morgan Hagler. He wasn't no man. All right.
Okay, Tim Muncie, I appreciate you, man. You always support me and Knockout. And yes,
we appreciate
I appreciate you coming over for the interview today at 3:00 Central Time. All right.
Yes,
remember, look at the time, Central Time. Okay. I will be putting a thumbnail up there shortly. Okay. And I appreciate everybody that came in today. All right. You can find me, KQKC, right here, Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday morning for the call-in show. And yes, I feel better, and I will be doing it on time this week. And also, I will be calling the fights this week. All right. So we got a full lineup ahead of us. So get ready, settle in, and hear me knock out, because he's going to be putting on some fire Wednesday. He's going to put on some fire Friday and damn show Sunday. All right. So make sure you subscribe to both of us. All right. So with that, that's all I got.
Appreciate y'all. Enjoy your day, and good luck again on that interview, KQ. Can't wait to hear it, man.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Talk to you later. Peace. Hey. I'm going to get some sleep, because I'm going to fall out. I went to bed at 5:00.